Well, Jenna, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. And I'm so excited to get to touch base on your story and just how your nutrition coaching experience has been so far. I think we started working together. What month was it?
I think it was April,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So,
end of April.
so yeah, definitely earlier this year. And it has been such a joy to work with you and to get to see just your change of mindset and just you getting to grow and just experience new things, especially over these last several months. And there's so many times where we meet for nutrition and I'm like, I need to get her voice out there. And just your experience and your story because just your mindset is so strong. And I think that, it's such an inspiration to other moms, other women, other people that are just trying to, place priority on their health in
Mhm.
a busy lifestyle and just with coming with a lot of, previous history when it comes to dieting and nutrition and things like that. So I am like, I'll ask a few questions and just let you go and just share
Okay.
your story. So first question then is, what prompted you to start nutrition coaching? What were you looking for?
So I actually watched this video. I've been going to Evolve for like 2.5 years now, something like that. And saw one of your Instagram posts about nutrition coaching. And I have been dieting my entire life, like my whole life. And so you name it, I've tried it. Low carb, low sugar, which is low carb, high protein, low fat, counting calories, keto, Atkins. I mean, you name it, I've done it. And so your Instagram video said something to the effect of like, have you tried every single diet? Why don't you let me tell you what to do? And why don't you take the guesswork out of dieting and let someone who's certified tell you exactly what to do? And that really struck a chord with me. I was like, I have listened to all of these people who are not you, who are not educated in this field, tell me what to do with my body, and it's just not working. Or it works for 6 months and then it's all back on. Or it works for a year and then it's all back on. And so I was like, man, I just need someone to tell me exactly what's going to work for me so that I stop spinning my wheels and waste another year of my life on something that just doesn't work. So yeah, that's what really prompted me, was just taking out the guesswork, because why not go to the source? Like if I'm sick, I'm going to go see my doctor. If I want to drop some pounds, why not go see a nutritionist? So that's what started it for me.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. And what were you hoping to get out of this? Like, what were some of your goals, going into it, and what were you expecting?
So I think anybody who's reaching out to you, I would assume, is trying to, I think my initial thought was, well, I want to lose weight. And the more that I thought about it, and I remember the first time that we talked, what ended up coming out of the conversation was, that's not what I want to focus on anymore. I want to focus on being a healthy person, being a healthy mom, having a balanced life, matching what I eat to how much I work out. So yeah, I think initially to lose weight. I think now it's just been more to have a balanced mindset about going forward with what I eat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's one thing. Even just like that relationship with food. I know that's what you mentioned. Like, I want a healthy relationship. I want to be able to, go out to a restaurant or time with friends and not be like analyzing everything that I'm eating and worrying
Mhm.
about if it's going to help me meet my goals. So what has that experience been like for you so far? Like, how do you feel like you've had success with your relationship with food and with yourself and just trusting yourself?
So I feel like one of my friends told me just a couple weeks ago, and I thought it was so wise about my relationship with food. She said, I wrote it down because I thought it was so smart. She said, food doesn't have intentions.
Mm,
It like really stuck with me. Like there is no, and like we've talked about that so much, is that like there isn't good food and there isn't bad food. Like broccoli isn't like much nicer than like cookies. Like they don't have like feelings, they don't have intentions. And so food's just food. Like we just have to treat it like that. Like carbs, I mean, we've all done the like low carb, don't eat carbs. Like, no, we have to eat carbs. We have to eat a balanced diet. So I think that's really changed in my mind, that food isn't bad.
mm,
Another thing we've talked about a lot is food is not a reward. or is it a punishment? So if I've gone completely off the deep end one day, I'm not going to not eat the next day. I'm just going to turn around and do better the next day. So that's really changed. I think the big change for me has been stepping away from the scale. And we are so laser focused on what the number on the scale is. And I have spent the last 30 years of my life being a number. And when I step on the scale on Monday morning or Saturday morning or whenever, and it goes up by a half a pound, I am less of a person because of it. I'm actually more because I've gained weight, but I feel like less because I didn't do enough. I didn't do it right. And yeah, this whole nutrition focus has been so much more than, okay, I gained a half a pound, but that's okay because I did this. Next week, I'm not going to do this, and this. I worked out really hard this week, so I may have gained some muscle. It's just so much of a more balanced picture of who I actually am that is not just a stupid number on the scale. So I think that has been the biggest, I mean, literally, I've struggled with that my entire life. And now I'm just kind of like, you know what? It's not who I am. Is it frustrating? Sometimes, but it's not who I am.
Mm. That is like music to my ears. That is amazing. So I love that. And just really getting to walk in freedom, when it comes to just food, it's a thing. It's a fuel. It's a, nourishment, sustaining thing. And it's not, a definition of who I am or same thing out with the scale. I love that you said that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's incredible. So and I'll take a look at my notes because there's a couple of things I want to touch on, but just with some of your wins that you've had outside of, I'm like pulling up too many different things here. Outside of what we just talked about, but so you're wrapping up school when we first started working together, and then you had the whole summer. So how did you make that work with, finishing up school, that being a crazy time of year, and then, going to being full-time mom with, 2 great kids, and just having like the flexibility of summer and traveling and all of that? Like, how did you work on your nutrition and, still keep with your goals and training and all of that through your changing seasons?
So I was already in a really strict workout routine. So that was easy to maintain. That's something that I love to do now. It's just kind of part of who I am. So that wasn't really an issue for me. But going from the really rigid schedule of a school day where, I know I'm going to eat breakfast at this time. I know I'm going to eat lunch at this time. Then I know I'm going to pick up my kids and eat dinner at this time. Totally changed when I got home. And one of the things that I remember we talked about, and the month of June was great because we were home a lot in the month of June, was just treating it like a normal business time. Like if I was in school, I was going to meal prep. So I knew exactly what I was going to eat for lunch every day. I went ahead and prepped it on Sunday night, and then I had it for the rest of the week. So I knew what I was going to have. Another big thing that I did this summer when I was home with kids, and I think would be great for weekends, and I should probably do this more now that we're back in school, is anytime we went anywhere, and we were all over creation this summer, I packed my lunch every time, because my kids, there are days where they wanted to go to Sonic. They wanted to go to McDonald's. They wanted to, wherever. And like the food that you're going to get at Sonic and McDonald's, like I don't want to eat a grilled chicken breast off of a grilled chicken sandwich. That's nasty. Like it's just not good. So I brought my own food from home. And sometimes I looked a little weird sitting at the table eating my packed lunch and my kids weren't, but my food was better and I felt better when I left. And it was cheaper. So I planned ahead a lot. And then, like you said, I went out of town a lot in July. I traveled almost the entire month. And we went to Disney World. I was at the beach. We took one final family trip, which I was really stressed about because that is obviously the time that things are going to go wild. And I remember you said this, and I'm going to use this for the rest of my life. You were like, okay, what are your minimums? What are the things that you are not going to live without? Like when you go to Disney World, what do you have to have? And I was like, well, Mickey bars are my favorite. That's my favorite thing. And I was like, maybe I'll have one. And you were like, wait. Let's be realistic here. I'm going to be there for 5 days. How many are you actually going to have? Do you want to have 3? Do you want to have 5? Do you want to have 10? But I went in with a plan, and I was able to stick with that plan on all of my vacations and still enjoy them. I think that's another habit that has really changed for me, is going into any sort of like celebratory situation, knowing what's going to happen, knowing that I am going to eat cake, I am going to eat pizza, and that's okay. I just won't eat it tomorrow.
Mm.
So yeah, that's been my summer. I think has just been mostly planning around those times that I know are going to be unstructured.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I love how simple you made it too. I remember you saying like my lunches are literally it's like a pack of grilled chicken breast from Costco, I think,
Mhm,
and like guacamole maybe, and
mhm,
I don't know, apple, grapes, something like that. Like where
mhm.
it's like grab and go. Like it's not this whole extravagant, I gotta prep. It's just like here's the pack, pack stuff. It's the macronutrients that I need, and like boom, it's done. So
Right.
I love that. It's like it doesn't really take that much brain power. It just takes a tiny bit of planning ahead of time, and you just made it work, in all kinds of situations. And I love too. I think you had mentioned on your vacations, and even just going out, with the family or whatever. Like the times that you brought your food, you were like, I'm really happy about it. I'm
Yep.
not like, I'm not missing out. I'm not feeling resentful that I'm, the only one eating something different. Like I'm happy and I'm, maintaining, great results and just that mindset shift of it's, I feel like it's really easy for a lot of people to think, and I've thought this before too, like, oh, it's not fair, they get to do this and I don't, obviously we have the choice to, but just that mindset of like, I'm great, and it's a true feeling of it's honest, feeling of, yeah, this is really working for me and I'm happy to sustain this. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
I never regretted it. I mean, I think that's something we can all know is that when you're in a situation like that, if you go out to eat with all your friends and they all order something crazy and you really wanted that, when you walk away from it, you're never like, man, I wish I'd gotten a pizza. Like you always walk away from it glad that you didn't make that choice. So yeah, I never felt like I mean, do I want to eat pizza? Sure. But I never felt left out. And also like we just said, like this is so habits based as opposed to day based. This is the long term. So like if we went out for pizza, eat pizza. It's fine. It really is fine. And that's been a huge struggle for me. Like food doesn't have intentions. Like it's not a bad pizza's not bad. It's
Mm.
bad if you eat a whole pizza every day, you know? So yeah, that's been a huge mind shift for me.
Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. I think you said too, like even going out, celebrating anniversaries and birthdays. It was that same kind of thing. Plan ahead, and then I don't feel guilty at all. I feel great
Hmm.
afterward, and I just was able to celebrate and be in the moment, and also move on with it after. So
Yep.
that's awesome. Now, and I can cut this out if needed. But do you want to share about like just non-scale wins of how you felt like shopping for new clothes or maybe at the pool or anything like that?
Sure. So I like I said, I have been dieting for 30 years. I'm 35 and I've just always been big. Always. I have a large bone structure. It's in my family. Like that's just how I'm built. So I've never felt good about my body ever. And this summer, I bought this bathing suit. I've never worn a two-piece bathing suit in my life. And when I say two-piece, I mean like it shows about that much of my midriff. But like for me, that is a huge deal. And we were at Disney World and my husband took a picture of me holding our daughter from behind, which I was like, he took a picture of me in my bathing suit from behind. I was like, oh my gosh. And he showed it to me and he was like, look at your body. Look at how much you've changed. Not look at how good you look, not look at how good you look next to her or whatever, but look what you have been able to do. And that you're standing here in a two-piece bathing suit. I mean, I would have been the kid in like shorts and a t-shirt at the pool. I didn't want to show any of it. So I can soundly say that never have I looked at myself in a bathing suit and thought, wow, I look pretty good. But I saw so much more than like my body. I saw it as like, look how much work I've done. Look at my muscles. Look at the tone here. Like, look how much you've dropped here. So yeah, that was a huge win. Bathing suits are obviously a hot button issue. The gym, I mean, like the skills that I have gained over the last couple months, I just feel better, stronger. I don't know. When you have the whole picture, it just makes it so much better. I mean, could I have built this strength without the nutrition? Maybe, I don't know. But when you have it, the whole package, I don't know, it just makes it so much better. So I've been able to do more things, try more things that I've always been like, never would I ever be able to do that. But I just feel more confident in my ability to try. So yeah, those have been, I mean, trying on clothes is more fun, you know, when you drop a clothing size or you feel better in this skirt than you would have before. So yeah, those have been some good ones. Oh, and I also went, I'm in a wedding next year for one of my former students. So I went to the beach with all these like really cute 20-something girls, and they all looked so darling in their bathing suits. And I was like, me too.
Oh, I just love it.
You too.
Yes, absolutely. And I love too, like this isn't like the end goal is not, like you were saying, the aesthetics, what you look like. It's like the confidence of, I feel amazing. Like I remember you texting me and saying, like, this is the first time in my life that I have said I look cute in a bathing suit. And
Yes.
that is just like, it's so much more than just, how people perceive us. It's like
Right.
confidence and just like, man, like I'm amazing. I've done a lot of really hard work. So maybe
Yeah.
celebrate that. So that's incredible. Thank you for sharing that stuff.
Yeah.
So do you feel like there's any other wins? We'll wrap up here in just a little bit. Do you feel like there's anything else that you want to share? Any other wins, that you've had, or just mindset shifts too?
I think, and we've talked about this quite a bit, is that I think after we've had those loses on the scale, like when you get on the scale and you're not happy with what you see, I would just like absolutely spiral. I mean, I would beat myself up for days, and just feel worthless, feel like I would never get it done. So I might as well just eat whatever I want because, I worked so hard all week and I gained a pound. And now I mean, do I beat myself up still? Of course. I mean, of course I do. I think that will never go away. That's just the way our minds work. But the spiral is so much faster. I mean, I'll get on the scale, be disappointed, step off the scale and be like, all right, well, I can now choose how I'm going to react to this. And I'm just going to go eat breakfast like I normally do and eat lunch like I normally do and work out like I normally do. I'm not going to starve myself. I'm not going to go eat a donut. It's just normal. It just is. So like I said, I'm not going to lie to you. There are a lot of days that I'm disappointed, but the spiral time is just so much faster than it should be. I just don't allow myself to think that way anymore, which has been a huge change.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about this at the beginning. So for all the mamas, like I knew my girls are 7 and 4 and they see me look in the mirror, they see me step off the scale, and I never, ever want to see them see me be disappointed in how I look, how I feel, how I perceive myself, because I'm their number one role model right now. And so if I do it, they're going to do it. And I know that they're going to see the world through that lens someday, but I certainly don't want to be the impetus for that. I want to show them that no matter what their body looks like, it's beautiful. And they just have to do their best to take care of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. It's absolutely, and it gets so much, I think, more powerful when it's like, this is for somebody else too. This is not just for me. So just an example. That's amazing. Yeah. So I love that. Yeah. And that too, same thing about that spiral of just it being so much, like you're able to just like take your thoughts captive so much quicker. That is a huge one. I've experienced that as well. And it feels good to be like, okay, my day is not going to be ruined if it doesn't, start the way that I want it to. Right. And we all have those at some point. So I love that. It's definitely a huge skill to be able to take into also other parts of your life too. I'm sure you've experienced that just outside of this. So yeah. Okay, so I think I have one more question here, but I want to make sure I touched base on everything. I meant to send this to you. Okay. Yeah, so I think, is that all? Is there anything else that you wanted to?
You asked about how to prioritize taking care of yourself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's just like, that's just hard. I mean, for me, it's been working out. I mean, like it's been that. It's also been meal prep. Like I have to do it. If I don't do it on Sunday, then I know it's not going to get done. And so I'm sure you've heard this before, but like my mother tells me this all the time. If you don't put on your own oxygen mask first on the plane, they always tell you to put your oxygen mask on first. If you don't put yours on, you can't put anyone else's on. So I've really had to teach myself that this year, especially this year where it's like, we have to be taking care of ourselves, physically and mentally. But meal prep. And then I could not be a bigger proponent for group fitness, which I never thought I would say ever, 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 because I was always one of those girls who saw all my friends on Instagram, like lifting weights and running marathons and working out in these large groups with all these women who looked amazing. And I was like, that's not me. That's never going to be me. I'm not that strong. I'm not that fast. I don't have that kind of endurance. I could never wake up at 4:30. And now I do. And it has changed my life. I mean, I could get emotional. I always cry when I talk to you, Megan, every time. But it's literally changed my life. The support, it's incredible what it has done for me, because it's something I knew I could never do. And now I do it religiously. And I love it, which is really bizarre. But as a mom, we have major mom guilt all the time. Any mom is lying to you that says that she doesn't. But I wake up at 4:30. My kids are asleep at 4:30. I get home at 5:50. My kids are still asleep. So I'm not hurting anybody when I'm gone. Nobody's missing me when I'm working out. And that is my time to do what I love to do, what's good for me. And so that's how I prioritize myself. I wake up an hour and a half earlier, but it's 100% worth it. I love it, which I never thought I would say. Never.
I love that and hearing that. And I will say it's been amazing to see, like if you shoot me a text of like, oh my gosh, like look at this amazing handstand I just did, or I'm getting stronger at pull-ups or front squats or all the things. I love hearing those wins outside, because it's those true non-scale wins, but it's like, man, look at this, what this consistency is doing,
Yeah.
and it just, and I know for everybody and myself included, it's like, it just makes you feel again so much more confident and so much more just, I can take on this world. I'm a hard person to kill. Honestly, like Mark Robertson says that, like stronger, healthier people are just harder to kill. And it's like, honestly, it's such a weird, I know I'm like bringing in a weird quote, but it's like, in this day and age too, it's like where you're talking about prioritizing health and taking care of yourself and mental health and all of that. It's like, we want to be super resilient, and things like that make us feel like that, so right. I love that. And yeah, and with you talking about group fitness too, it's I can agree. It's like once I started that, I never stopped. Like then that was almost, I guess that was like 6 years ago, where before it was always a start, stop, every single year. And now it's like, no, we all do it together. We just stay consistent with this, day in, day out, through the holidays, through summers, everything. So I love that. I love that you're bringing that. So if anybody's watching this that does not do group fitness but might be interested, like try it.
You can do. If I can do it, you can do it.
Yes, I love it. Well, just to wrap up, is there anything that that you would say to somebody that is considering nutrition coaching or just getting help with their nutrition in general?
I would say, without a doubt, do it. Why not? Like what would stop you from doing it? And I think, especially right now with so much information out there, so many diets, so many fads, diets don't work. They just don't. It's temporary. You're going to diet for 6 months and then you're going to fall off the wagon, because you can't cut out carbs from your life. You can't stop eating bread. You're going to have cake. You're going to eat pizza. And why not go to the source? I mean, that's, like I said at the beginning, if I'm sick, I'm going to go see a doctor. If I break my foot, I'm going to go to the podiatrist. Is that who you go see for your foot? Like, I'm a teacher. And I'm a music teacher. If I have a friend who has a music question, I would expect them to ask me, like that's my area of expertise. So why are we going to these people online who are selling us stuff, who are selling us all these products that cost $1 gazillion that may not do anything for us, when we could just take this habits-based approach, eat good food, and make good choices? I mean, it's just, now I'm like kicking myself that I didn't do it before. I mean, any of my friends that ask me what I'm doing, I'm like, do this, do it, at least do it, do this, do the consultation. And you may decide it's not for you, but why not? It might be for you, and it might totally change your world.
I love it.
It's 100% worth it. And Megan is wonderful. Don't edit that out, Megan.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you're so sweet. I appreciate it. So, well, thank you. I thank you so much for sharing your story and just taking time out to to share all the wins. I think, like I said in the beginning, that's super inspiring to people. And it really is. It's like the consistent, day in, day out hard work that you put in is worth it because of all the wins that you get and
Yeah.
clarity and just all the things that we talked about earlier. So I love it. Well, thank you. Thank you. I think that wraps
Sure.
up everything. So I will go ahead and stop this recording.